Big welcome to our webinar today together with our friends from Churn. We're very excited for you all to be here. It's going to hopefully be a super cool webinar as well. I think we have some cool people today. We have Linda from Younium, Linda Berg, our customer success manager, but she will do a much better job at introducing herself further in this presentation. And of course, Maarten from Churn, who is going to explain how AI is, increasing your odds of renewals and, getting much more money from the existing customers, which is cool.
So hi everyone, my name is Maarten Doornbal. I'm one of the founders of Churn. Churn is a customer success management, retention management platform founded in 2019 by a professor in data science, his former student, which is also my brother and myself. I'm heading the commercial operations of Churn. We're an international company based in Amsterdam, and how we are different from most other customer success management platforms is that we use AI to predict customer health and all the actions that are there to increase health.
Yes, so hi, nice to meet all of you. My name is Linda Berg and I work as a customer success manager here at Younium. Younium is the subscription hub for business-to-business companies, and our aim is to streamline the subscription management, the invoicing and billing, financial reporting, and by doing that, get better data insights.
Yeah, so thanks. Let's start with a word that can be a bit scary for subscription businesses, and that is the word churn. But to really understand it, let's look at what churn means and also how it shows up in its different ways. So churn refers to the rate at which customers cancel their contract or stop doing business with you. And there are multiple types of churn where we use the two main types: customer churn, that is what the percentage of customers that cancel their subscriptions. And second, we have revenue churn, and revenue churn is the percentage of revenue that you lose because of cancellations or downgrades. Then it's also important to distinguish between voluntary churn and involuntary churn, where voluntary churn is where a customer actively decides to leave, and involuntary churn is where customers leave because of reasons that are not really within their control. We focus mainly on voluntary churn. That is the type of churn that you can often influence, where involuntary churn is more difficult to handle. Then what is the effect of churn on a business? Obviously, it has bad effects on the company, for example, harming the reputation of the company, but also financially, especially during economic downturns, it's more difficult to acquire customers, so customer acquisition costs are generally higher. I will explain some reasons for churn. So there are reasons that you will see at practically every business, so as high pricing, perceived lack of value, bad customer support. And we have reasons that are very specific for SaaS, such as long time to value, poor onboarding, low product usage, or complex pricing. And of course, as a company, you want to deal with these churn reasons. There are multiple ways how to deal with those. For example, if we look at the B2B SaaS or the SaaS-specific churn reasons like complex pricing, you have subscription management tools like Younium that you can utilize to provide flexible billing options and thus reduce churn, which Linda will probably tell more about in a bit. And then we have low product usage. This is a very important predictor of churn. That's what we see, but also what's confirmed by research. And also there you have ways to deal with this, for example, through proactive customer success management, where you, by timely signaling the issue, for example, through a customer success tool that can identify usage patterns, the customer success manager can proactively engage with the customer to get them using the product again. So as a customer success manager, your main goal is to get your customers get the most value of the product or service that they're using. And in order to be able to help them in the right way, it is very important to make use of the data that you have of your customers, because the data tells a lot about their health, their needs, their behavior. And so then you, of course, have to translate that data into some kind of score or action that you can use as a customer success manager, which is not a easy exercise. And that is why many companies use a customer success platform, because it helps you translate your customer data into these actions and scores. And there we have two types of customer success methods, let's say, or methods to translate these actions or data into actions. And there are the rule-based method and an AI-based method. And let's compare a bit both methods. So we understand how AI is different. So on the left, we have the rule-based customer success approach, which is used by most current customer success platforms. And in a rule-based approach, you conditionally process the data that you have in the systems to a set of mostly human-created rules that then lead to a score or an action. So you as a customer success manager set up some if X, then Y statements. Like if a customer doesn't log in 10 times a day, he's at risk. If this many support tickets are created, the customer is at risk. And there you use data from systems like your HubSpot, your Mixpanel, your Freshdesk, so the CRM support usage type of data sources to the human rules, and then you get actions. And while these rule-based systems can definitely work, there are also limitations because the rules are often created by a human. So you really rely on the capability of the human, or maybe the gut feeling of the human, to set up the right rules, which is not an easy exercise either. And also maintaining those rules is also a difficult exercise, because if anything changes to your product, you release a new feature, your pricing changes, the rules are not in sync anymore, and they have to be updated and adjusted, which costs time and resources. So then we have the AI-based method on the right, and the AI-based method, just like a rule-based, you use the data that you have in the systems, you integrate it into the AI, but there you don't set up the rules, but the AI does the work for you. It trains on the data that you have in the systems. So you use the same CRM support and usage data. What the AI model does, it looks at who churned in the past and what did we see prior happening to that moment. So it uses historic data to predict with very little or human or without any human intervention. And because of that, it can also overcome some of the limitations. For example, so it uses all the data that you have in the system, leading to more accurate predictions. It is very good capable of dealing with complex relationships, and therefore also it works very well with the exceptions and the edge cases. And a big advantage is once it's set up, it's quite easy to maintain, since there are no rules that have to be created or updated. So if we look at the example in the slide, suppose we have two customers, we have Adobe and Microsoft, and last month they've been following exactly the same journey. They have the same behavior, the same numbers, they both received an email, they logged in, they had a support call, but still the AI predicted a very different health score. And that is exactly where AI is good at. It's very capable of spotting and understanding the differences in the expected individual behavior, and then automatically recognizing them as unusual. So for Adobe, interacting less with the product, taking fewer meetings, making fewer calls were risk drivers. For Microsoft, this led to a completely different risk score. So the power of AI in customer success is that it enables us to personalize insights for each customer. It detects very subtle changes, and because of that, it might signal a churn risk.
So I will jump to the boring part straight away, and this is a few reasons why churn can happen due to poor subscription handling. So one is that the customer gets the wrong invoice, maybe one time, maybe a few times. Nevertheless, customers tend not to like that if the first invoice they get is too early or too faulty. That often leads to a bad start of the relationship. Or maybe that you lack visibility in renewal management. Maybe you didn't leave enough time between the renewal coming up and the customer touch points simply because you didn't know it was coming up. Or perhaps that the customer ordered an add-on, but the process didn't go through and the access wasn't given. Not only do you lose money from not charging directly, but if this happens enough, customers will churn. So instead of churn, our first do is to increase the renewal likeliness. We need to focus on getting the highest renewal rates possible. So 4 tips to do that. Stay ahead. Don't start talking to your customers when the renewal is just around the corner. Be ahead of the game. And also monitor their behavior. Watch competitors and be mindful about what your competitors do. Be aware of pricing changes in the market, because even when your customers are happy, they care about money too. And if they don't see or get the value with you, they will start to look elsewhere. Last but not least, it's really about to focus your efforts. When you have gauged the happiness of your customers, then focus your energy on the highest risk and the highest ACV.
So this is the end of the summary. At the end of the webinar, we did a Q&A where we answered all your questions. If you want to have a look at it, click on the link below. We have a link that's going to the YouTube channel. and you can watch the full video over there. Thank you.